This program is sponsored by Chocolations, located at 607 East Boston Post Road in Mamaroneck.
Welcome into another telecast of LMC Varsity Sports alongside Raheel Jaswal. I'm Troy McGraw. We are here at Rhinebeck for quarterfinal softball action between the Rhinebeck Panthers and Hastings Yellow Jackets. Number 2 Rhinebeck and number 7 Hastings. As Rhinebeck controls their fate, as if they win, they'll get another home playoff game as the 2 seed. And Raheel, and this should be a good game. Last time they played it was 8-2, but that was like over a month ago. So we'll see what between these times, and it's the playoffs and everything goes out the window.
Definitely, everything in the regular season goes out the window. Great day for baseball. Really no wind. Sun is sun is beating down, an uncharacteristic 10 a.m. start.
Yep, this will be the first playoff game of the section today with the 10 a.m. start, and we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports with the first pitch. Back here on LMC TV, 8th grader Katie Blanche ready for her first pitch of the quarterfinals, and it's it's a ball. She bounces it.
You got this, Katie.
It'll be Hastings will send up the pitcher, who's up now, Alex Savatano. Strike one from Blanche, working fast as usual. A broadcaster's dream, the way she works quickly. 1-1 pitch. Kayla Austin. And then Marley Edwards are the first 3 for the Yellow Jackets from Hastings. Strike 3, swinging.
How about that for a start?
Yeah, ball 1 and then 3 straight strikes. Just 1 away.
Start it off, girls. Play smart, girls. Get ready.
Foul ball. Kayla Austin, the third baseman. And we started, wow, how rare is this? We started like 3 minutes early because it's 9:58 and we had a 10 a.m. first pitch. I know that was a minute ago we started, and it'll be bounced to second and it'll be thrown over, and Olivia Tobin makes the play, 2 away. 6 pitches, 2 outs for Katie Blanche and Rhinebeck.
Good job, girls. One more. Come on. Get ready.
She takes care of Marley Edwards quickly here, the 3-hitter. We could have the top of the inning could be over right at 10 o'clock when we were supposed to start. As Raheel mentioned in the opening, 10 a.m. start, but it should be mentioned that Section 1 of the game started at 2, and all the games are starting before 2 or before, in the quarterfinals and the softball and all the classes, but most of them are starting at I think 11 and 1.
Yeah, usually the default start time is around 1 o'clock. It's a good time for an afternoon game, but
Rhinebeck elected for that. It shouldn't get too hot this afternoon, but now's a perfect temperature. The sun coming out, it will be a little rare. And a rip by Marley Edwards, the shortstop, with the first hit of the game. Rips it up the middle, a good piece of hitting. And it'll be Zoe Fields, the catcher and cleanup hitter. See if she can keep it going here.
Guys, get ready. Got a hitter, guys. Get ready.
it's really important for the Yellow Jackets to get some runners on early, put some pressure on, and try and get some early runs.
Yeah, after a strikeout to the leadoff hitter, the ground out by the second hitter to second, put the ball in play. She nearly beat it out after Tobin bobbled it for a second, but a good recovery by her to get the out. And then a rip single for Edwards, so each batter there. No secondary lead from Edwards, so don't think she's going. Thought she could be a threat to steal. She looked a little quick when she ran to first on her play. Still isn't secondary leading. 1-2 now.
Get your gloves ready. Come on, girls.
Ball, and there goes Edwards, and she'll be safe at second. That'll be, it was a wild pitch way inside.
You got this, girls. You got this. Get
Well,
ready.
actually, did it hit her glove? I think it hit her glove, right?
I think a little bit.
Pass ball, pass ball.
Come on, girls. Get ready. Carrot, get ready. Come on, girls.
So a base hit, let's see if, on a base hit if they want to send her. It doesn't matter, strike 3, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 left on, no errors. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first and Rhineck coming up. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, along with Raheel Jaswal, I'm Troy McGraw. Lefty first baseman Evelyn Pacone will lead it off for the Panthers. Ball outside, 0-1. I mean 1-0. So it'll be Pacone, Tobin, and Peccia, the normal lineup. Only change from the first game was Nina Sullivan will just be playing left field. She won't be hitting. First playoff game where they beat Briarcliff 5-1, she was hitting ninth and playing left field. Today she's just playing left field, and the DP, Katie Littman, JV call-up, will bat ninth. So she'll be DPing for Sullivan. DP, the DH of softball. Hastings also using one Hannah Leffer. And the 8-hole, that one was high inside, 3-1 to Pacone. And that one fouled off into the batting cage netting, 3-2. Could have been ball 4.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, 3-1, you always look for a good pitch to hit because that's a prime hitter's count right there.
And she'll pop it up. The catcher will call off the pitcher, and a nice catch by the catcher. Last second, she just got it on the webbing of her glove, and Zoe Fields makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Good play by Fields in the 6th pitch at bat to Pacone, 1 away. That had disaster written all over it, but a nice play by Fields. Fields fielded from the catching position. The pitcher, Civitano, at first called it, but it wasn't her ball. And Fields called her off correctly and made the catch, although albeit just made the catch.
In front of that one.
Way in front, but fouled straight back. It doesn't matter if you just make it as long as she did, and she did. 0-2 to the second baseman, Olivia Tobin. Followed by the catcher and the 3-hitter, Carissa Peccia. Off-speed pitch popped up to short, and it'll be squeezed for an easy second out for Marlee Edwards, who had the first hit of the game in the first inning and reached second on the pass ball and then was stranded. And Carissa Peccia will try and do what Edwards did, get a hit with 2 outs from the 3-hole. One of their best hitters.
Come on, Carissa.
Ball 1. Peccia gets on. She'll be followed by Stephanie Santoli. Strike. 1-1. I think that was a take all the way.
Got this.
Two and 1 to Peccia. Just a freshman. So we have an 8th grade pitcher in Olivia Tobin for Rhineck and a freshman catcher in Peccia. They're both their 2 best hitters too. A lot of off-speed stuff and a good pitch there. Fooled her. That's why we had that way in front foul ball from Tobin. A lot of change-ups and off-speed breaking. Off-speed stuff, and that one foul. What is that, the 4th or 5th foul ball too by the Panthers so far. With the off-speed stuff, you're just fouling it off. And she rips one right over our heads off the thing. That could have killed somebody.
That was close.
That'll wake you up at 10:05 in the morning. That was a rip way in front of that. That could have really done some damage. That was a rip.
She's coming after me.
Everyone be alert over here. 2-2 pitch to Peccia, and she was in front of that, and that's a fair ball. So she makes her turn at first. She goes into second, and she'll slide. Probably could have just stood up, but she slides with a double over the bag. So good hack. So she was way in front, hit 3 foul balls, and then she hit a double right over the bag that the third baseman.
That was a great at-bat, fouling off some tough off-speed pitches, getting her pitch and ripping it down the line.
The third baseman, Kayla Austin, had no shot at. She wasn't even 100% sure it was fair. It was definitely fair, right over the bag. Home plate umpire with the good call, and Santoli with an early RBI opportunity. So both 3 hitters get hits. Peccia with the double, and Hastings shortstop Marley Edwards with the first hit in the 3 spot, the shortstop. So Santoli comes up with a RBI opportunity with her catcher Peccia on second, and 2 outs. Strike 2, 1 and 2. She was late on that pitch. Is that a rare fastball? I think so. She's not a fast pitcher, but she mixes her stuff very well, does Civitano. That one fouled up. The catcher doesn't see it, and could have had a tough play on it, but Santoli stays alive. Would have been a real tough play, which might have had a chance.
It's tough for a catcher behind the plate with those type of foul balls.
And the way it went, too, it went a little towards her own dugout. And that's a rip by Santoli. Just foul. Just foul. Good call. The umpire was right on it. But last time we saw a scorching foul ball. It was in the last at-bat to Peccia. The very next pitch, double. So we'll see what happens now. Just foul. It was like 4 softballs foul. About less than a foot. So Rhineck looking for a first inning run ball. 2 and 2. That one bounced. Good job by Santoli to stay back on it.
This is exactly what we saw last at-bat. Taking good pitches, fouling off, and eventually getting a hit.
See if she can follow in Peccia's footsteps, the shortstop. Santoli following with the catcher's at-bat, but that one is fouled off. Another foul off. Right, we had 4 fouls from Peccia and then a double, and that was just a 4th foul ball. An all-kind foul back foul. Soft one. And that one is ripped to third. Good play by the third baseman. Throw across the diamond, and it gets by. It was a short hop, and it'll be stop at second, Will Santoli. So it's 1-0. That's an E5, no RBI. As the good throw would have had her, but it was like a short hop, and the first baseman could use a bigger glove. She's got a small glove. So an error by Asen. And that's what happens when you put the ball in play, Raheel.
Yep.
Good things happen. It's an error, no RBI. As it was a bad throw. A good throw would have had her. It was a little low.
Those are the errors that really kill you in these type of games.
Right, because that would have been the 3rd out of the inning, no score. With a strand Peccia. And now Blanche, one of the best hitters. I remember a game we did earlier in the year. She had 3 hits. Basically got all her RBI she needed on the mound that game. And then, I think it was against Tucko Bronxville. And she rips the ball up the middle. Great play by the shortstop to knock it down. Good. That's an infield single for Blanche. Good job by Coach Spedafino to hold up there. What a play by Edwards to knock that down. That looked like that was, if she doesn't knock that down, that could have been a gap double. That saved a run.
Yeah.
The error just led to the 1 run. Yeah, so Katrina Spinozzi on that play. That's a stolen base for Blanche. She didn't, Spinozzi could have had it, but it was a tough play and it was low, so it was definitely an error on the third baseman on the throw, who made a good play just to block it down on the ground ball, Asen, as on Santoli's ball that she put in play. But just 1-0, second and third, unearned run on the error I just mentioned by Asen. That one, Straza lifts in the air to left field, and it's right at the left fielder, Blotchner. Blooner. And the end of one, it's 1-0 on an unearned run for Rhinebeck after the double with 2 outs by Carissa Peccia. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, Blanche's first pitch with a 1-0 lead is a ball inside and low to the 5-hitter Jen Caruso, the center fielder. She'll bunt for a hit late, but the outfield was on top of it, and it was foul. It's tough for a righty to bunt for a hit.
Let's go, Katie Dead! Come on, let's go.
Blanche's 1-1 will be.
There's another attempt.
Again. Foul. Probably won't bunt for a hit here. At least she makes the team think about it. The Rhinebeck. And a rip to Tobin. Fields it very cleanly and throws her out. Her speed was decent, but I don't know with the bunting for a hit twice if she really could have beaten it out. I guess if she did it perfect, but after we see her speed on run to first there. 1 away.
Yeah, it's really tough to bunt for a hit because if you try it and you foul, you're wasting strikes, and then you get behind in the count.
She did a good job putting it in play. She hit it kind of hard too, but Tobin fielded it perfectly and threw the first or second chance of the day. 2 for 2 fielding is Tobin as Rhinebeck. Doesn't have an error. I mean, it's just the second inning, but as opposed to Hastings with that unearned run. But Edwards saved the. It should be 2-0, but Edwards made a great play just to knock down the pitcher. Blanche's shot 1-1. Blanche working real fast.
Okay, you got it. Everyone's ready to hop.
Stopwatch on her. Mentally, seems like she's about 9 seconds between pitches when she releases it
Come on, Katie, you got
and then
it.
gets it back. If you time, about anywhere between 9 and 12 seconds, which is really good. 2-2 pitch to Blanche. If it works for you, that's perfect. In softball, they tend to work faster than baseball pitches, but the it's always makes
That's
the
a great
game-
pitch.
Great pitch. Keeps her team on her toes, and it's easier there, as that's her third strikeout, all swinging. As that was as that'll bring up May Rooney, excuse me. Jen Caruso led it off with a ground out to,
Ready to go. Here we go.
and that's a liner right to
Way to go, Liz. Way to go.
Tobin. 1 pitch
Get your backs ready, girl.
to Rooney, and it's a 1-2-3 quick inning for Blanche. We'll be right back on LMC TV. Back here on LMC TV, bottom 2, Shayla Viola, the center fielder, ball, strike 1 to her. It'll be
You got this, Shay.
as the Panthers lead 1-0. Viola will rip one to the opposite field, and it'll get past the right fielder. Misjudging, she'll be there with a double stand-up. It did take a bad hop on her. Didn't play it perfectly, but that's a double. I mean, that's not an error. I mean, she should have got there, but she misplayed it a little.
Big swing, Carol. Come on,
Viola,
right-handers, Carol. You want
the double, that'll bring up the third baseman, Kara Allen.
Just like that. A couple opportunities to score now.
Put the pressure on that Hastings defense, who already has an error. That's a ball. We'll see if Joan Spadafino puts the bunt on. The 8-hitter. The 9-hitter, JV call-up. The DP, Katie Littman on deck.
Come on, Carol. You got this.
The way Blanche is looking on the mound, you think 2 or 3 is all she's going to need. And Kara Allen with a base hit, but the bunt wasn't on. And it'll be, Allen takes a big turn there. So it'll be first and third. Back-to-back hits in the 4th hit. The first time through the lineup for the Panthers. And the JV call-up, Littman,
Way to go.
come up, hit 9th, righty.
This is Katie. This is Katie, right?
Ball. Allen not going. Strike, 1-1.
Hey, you got this, Katie. You're a hitter. You're a hitter.
This is a very important at bat here because if you get the strikeout or at least getting out here, you have an opportunity to turn 2 and get out of the inning.
Turning 2 in softball is pretty hard to do, but it is possible. And yeah, strikeout would be huge. Strike 2, 2-2. It would be your first strikeout of the game too. Ideally, you want an infield pop-up or a strikeout. They already have 2 pop-ups and a fly ball to the left. You could get a shallow pop to the outfield too. Fouls off a low pitch. Still 2-2 for Katie Lippman.
You're on it, Katie. You got this. Bring them up, Katie.
1-0 bottom of the second here.
All right.
Section
foul.
1 Class B quarterfinal number 2 Rhinebeck against number 7 Hastings. The way the playoffs work, Hastings actually 9-12 after their first round win over number 10 North Salem, and they're in the playoffs even though they strike. Ooh, just inside. Hastings wanted that call, but just missed. Full count. It was close.
4 losses to out of area teams.
4 losses out of area teams, so it didn't affect your playoff seeding. Thank you, Mr. Devaney's assistant, Rob. Kevin Devaney had the bracketology, and that's a high fly ball to center field. It'll get caught up it'll get caught up there, and the pitcher wisely cuts it off to keep Allen at second. Meanwhile, it's an RBI sac fly, so no at bat, but a sac fly RBI. FO8 Katie Lippman, and it's 2-0. Allen would have got to second. That was a good throw by the center fielder, a little far, but I mean, she had no shot. Only a major leaguer could have thrown out from there.
Deep fly ball.
Yeah. Kind of got caught in the, there's no wind underneath it as it stayed there, but it was about 15, 20 feet from the fence. So Allen on first, but it kept Allen. It was cut off by the pitcher. A good play by Civitano because usually the first baseman cuts that off, but she was holding the runner on, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Civitano, and it's a huge one. As 2 away for Olivia Tobin, and you want to get Tobin because on deck is the first run of the game and the first hit for Rhinebeck, Peccia, who doubled. So this is a huge at-bat for Civitano here in the second, as she is going to want to cut out, even though this run was earned, the first one was unearned, but they're not going to beat Katie Blanche, and it's dropped by the first baseman, so she gets a hit here. That's an error. Actually, it's an error either way. Yeah. Second error.
Come on, Liv.
First one was questionable, but it was a low throw on the first error of the game by the third baseman. That was an error, so the first error for the first baseman, Spinozzi.
Your pitch, Liv. Your pitch.
Yeah, it is an error either way. I've seen a couple major leaguers doing that now. That happened in the Yankee game the other night. The catcher couldn't locate the foul pop against the Yankees, I think Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday.
Come on, Liv.
1-2 count to Tobin. And she'll hit a fly ball to left, foul.
All right, almost there. Almost there.
Courtney Bluner ran after it and almost got there. Pitcher liked the hustle. Did Civitano, you could hear it from here. A lot of foul balls. Seeing that work either way. And that one is ripped. Base hit. It'll bring up Peccia. Good play. She tried to throw her out at second, but she'll just be safe.
Kara, run. You gotta run, Kara. Make sure you run. All right, Kara. Good job. Come on, Liv.
So the drop pop-up could really hurt him because second error of the game. Errors will kill you.
You have to be clean. You have to be clean in the field, especially when it's errors like those. You know, fly ball foul could get the out and end the inning. But
yeah, let's a hit. She definitely could use for a first baseman a bigger glove. They do make first baseman softball gloves. They're rare, but they do have them, and it would help on plays where you can't make it. Like the throw before 1-0 Pachia, looking for her pitch. Her and Blanche are the two best hitters. 1-1 to Pachia. Strike two, outside corner, good pitch. Tough one to hit, and
very important that they get out of this inning without giving up any more runs. Stopping the bleeding.
Huge play as it's popped up to second, and it'll be caught by the second baseman, May Rooney. So that's the end of the inning. A run on 3 hits. And another error, 1 left on base. The error didn't cause the run, though, as it was earned. We'll be right back on LMC TV. Back here on LMC TV, alongside Raheel Jaswal. I'm Troy McGraw, and our cameramen are LMC Premium Sports producer Rob Moretti. Other cameramen are Sean Kelly and the X-Man Xavier Campo. Ball 1 from Blanche. Blanche, just an 8th grader, just over 6 feet tall already. Not sure if she plays basketball, but I know Coach Lincoln would like ball 2-0. Was that 3-0? It might be 2-0. They don't put it on the scoreboard. Mamaroneck has them. The balls and strikes. That was, it had to be 2-0 because that was a bad pitch, and she golfed it to second. Nearly beat it out. That would have been ball 3. I think it was 2-1, yeah. And it'll be the third assist. The third assist for Olivia Tobin as she threw out Lafer to Pacone. And this has been clean, and she caught a line drive as well. 5-hitter Courtney Bloomer. Strike, 1-1. So Bloomer, the 9-hitter, then the top of the order. Strike 2, a ball. Similar pitch chased and grounded out by Laffer. Just the one base runner on the base hit from the 3-hitter. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That's the 4th?
All swinging.
Strikeout, all swinging, yep. For Katie Blanche, and 4 out of the 9 batters she's faces. That was her first time through the lineup. It was back to the top, and the pitcher, Alex Sevitano. 4 strikeouts, and Sevitano was the first strikeout victim of the game. Sevitano just has the 1 strikeout of Evelyn Pacone last inning, compared to 4 for Blanche, and there's a chance at 5 through 3 innings. Strike to the pitcher, Sevitano. 0-2. Slowed it down a little bit just to get the signs from Pachia. Good scoop by Pachia, even though no one's on base. 1-2. Hastings' dugout has woken up.
Yeah.
They were not this loud the first 2 innings. And grounder, foul. As it went past the base, then it was foul. Oh, what is that? Still 0-2. Sullivan throws it in. Just playing left field, not batting. It was a good move by Coach Spedafino to have a batter for her, because the DP, Katie Libman, had the 2nd RBI on her. Good sac fly, swung on a miss. 2 strikeouts of her counterpart, Sevitano. A 1-2-3, two 1-2-3 innings, just a single, and then advancing in a second. Edwards on the pass ball is the difference between the perfect first 3 innings for Blanche. Only 1 hit for Hastings. We'll be right back on LMC TV, entering the bottom of the third, 2-0, Rhinebeck. Back here on LMC TV, bottom of the third, and it'll be the 4-hitter Santoli up, Blanche on deck, followed by Jamie Straza here in the bottom of the third. Rhinebeck averaging, they got a run in the first and a run in the second. Trying to that pace, and it's a looping line drive and a good catch, as it wasn't the easiest play for the third baseman, Kayla Awesome. And there's 1 away. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Sevitano. Last inning, she gave a leadoff double and then an RBI single. And now she, like the first inning, gets it out. But the errors have killed them, as the 2 errors. 1 led to the first run, and then there was an error in the second inning. Although with softball, if they labor, it just maybe it tires them a little. But it's not like more pitches as bad as is a looping liner, and it's dropped. It was in her glove. She had it. I thought she had it. Her hand was on the other side, and it popped away, and she couldn't make the catch. And it wasn't the easiest play, but that's an error.
3 errors now.
I mean, it was right in her glove. Yeah, 3, 1 in each inning so far. E7, Blanche on first, and Jamie Straza, who flied out to left, Courtney Bluner. And I was talking about it before the inning. They're warming up. They're throwing the bench as it's grounded back to the mound to the shortstop, Edwards. And she juggled it, so she was safe. And she'll stay there, so she'll go to third on the missed throw, as the umpire was said she was bobbling at Edwards. She was too worried about the double play, so she said she was safe at second because it was bobbled. Blanche was thought she was out, and now they're trying to figure out where Blanche, if she should stay on third. They score her, and she'll stay at second. Straza will stay at second since she hit the ball, but Blanche, you advanced 2 bases on the throw.
So now it's 3-0.
Because of the overthrow, and now the coach is wondering, I don't know if that's right because she was there already, but it was on the bobble. It was a good throw. It wasn't the best throw, but it was bobbled by Edwards. And that's why she was safe, so I guess that's an error. I don't know why she's coming back to first.
She was too worried about the double play, but
she would have had it too, because Straza's not the fastest. And she had it, but it caused her to bobble.
I think the main thing is really when that transfer, when you're trying to get the ball out of your glove into your hand. That's really where the most error, this is where the missed double plays really come in.
So that was an error on the shortstop because of the bobble. So 4 errors.
2 in this
that's
inning.
not going to win playoff games, as it's 3-0.
All errors have led to, in some way, led to the 4 run. Led to the 3 runs.
We'll have a discussion with the umpires, and we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, following the lengthy discussion between the umpires and both coaches. Straza, Blanche will score. And she got on base because of the E7, so that's an unearned run. Straza's out there because of the E6, because of the drop transfer, and then advanced to second because of it, as that's a strike, as time wasn't granted. Coach Pedafino will ask the umpire. You don't have to grant time necessarily, so she's asking. She's just telling her what happened there. She agrees. And I know. Well, oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Rob. Straza will have to then another throw. So 3 errors in a row by the shortstop, Edwards. She's saying that's not dead, and we'll have another discussion for the. It hit the fence, and the coach is not happy. So, and the thing, it was out of play, but it hit the fence to stay in. And so another error, right? But on the play before, there was 2 errors because she dropped the bobble and then she threw it away, and that allowed Straza to get to second. So E6, and then
is that the 5th error of the day?
Yeah, and wait. No, the 6th,
The
because
6th.
that play right there was an error. So it stayed in, so Hastings coach wins the argument. So 3 errors in the last 2 batters made by the shortstop Edwards, who played good defense in the first inning. As the Rhinebeck bench is fired up. So Edwards with the 3 errors. 4 errors in the inning, 2 errors in the first 2 innings. Hastings with 6 errors. If Rhinebeck wins this, holds on here,
Definitely.
they're already averaging, at the worst, they can finish with an error an inning, because the 6 errors already. 6 at-bats for Rhinebeck. So that would be at the best, they can average 1 an inning. They're averaging more than an error an inning by far. At 6 and 3, they're averaging, well, this inning's not even over, but that would be 2 an inning. Strike to Kara Allen, 2 to her. As Viola advanced on the throw, even though it didn't go out of play, as it hit the fence, she ran anyway. Straza held up, and she's safe. Infield single, a squib single, bases loaded. Straza held up at third, Viola at second, and that's a squib single. And that piece of hitting was the first hit of the inning for Rhinebeck. Bases loaded, 1 out. After getting the first out, there was 4 errors, 2 errors on 1 play on the Straza at bat, as it was bobbled at the bag and then thrown away, allowing Straza to go to second and allowing
And then a
score.
miscommunication on that last play.
So 3 runs, 2 unearned so far for Rhinebeck. 6 errors for Hastings, unheard of amount, and that was a squib single. She made the play and she was running for the base, but she couldn't get her out at first. So, I mean, it wasn't an error. It wasn't the easiest play, but it was tough as Hastings has a team meeting here. But I think the average cumulative time of the first 3 half innings where Hastings has been about 14 minutes, and with Rhinebeck up, it's been about triple that, almost about 40 minutes.
Now Rhinebeck has a real chance to kind of blow the game open now.
Bases loaded. The 9-hitter Lippman, who had the RBI sac fly in the second inning, comes up. And we'll get a pinch runner. So it'll be a pinch runner and Straza can re-enter. So in case there's a sac fly or a pass ball, coach wants that 4th run, and she'll replace as Maya Julian, the pinch runner for Straza, as she probably would have scored on that squib hit. But Straza couldn't get there, so coach, with the 1 out, because a sac fly could get her home, she'll come in for the pinch run. So she'll get credit with the run if she can score. Another JV call up. You can call up anyone you want from the JV, so she just got called up to be like a pinch runner. As Katie Lippman will bat, the 9-hitter, already with the sac fly RBI, and she has the bases loaded, and like you said, she could break it open here. The ball, nowhere to put her. Neither pitcher with a walk though, or a hit batter.
Yeah, it's been surprising.
Yeah, 6 errors by Hastings. Ball 2 would have been, but she swings and misses. 1-1. It'll be a 1-1 count. And popped up. It's in foul play and it's
Make
caught.
that one.
That's why it wasn't an infield fly, because it was foul.
Yeah.
But it was caught, and it'll bring Evelyn Pacone, the top of the order lefty. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
How about Evelyn? She has batted so far now through every single inning.
Leadoff hitter. Popped up to she's 0 for 2 too. Catcher she popped up to, and there. This would be a great job wiggling out, as would escape 4 errors and leave 3 on base with Sevitano if she can get out of this. And then she would leave the leadoff hitter 0 for 3. and just 1 run. Strike 2. 1-2.
Yeah, like you said, this is huge if they can only escape this inning with only giving up 1 run, because usually you see if this happens, usually people, probably maybe a 3 or 4 run inning.
Right. All the errors. 4 errors in 1 inning. Right, to escape with the 4 errors. The way Blanche is pitching, 3 or 4 runs would be enough. If they could. That's why she pinch ran for Straza in the 3rd so early, because she wanted to try on a sac fly or a pass ball. But now it's, unless there's like a real big wild pitcher pass balls, you're not going to be able to do it. Pops up here. Shortstop going after, and what a catch by the shortstop. Making up for her 2 errors was Edwards, her 3 errors, and she makes the huge play and they get out of it, and the inning is over with 4 errors, 1 hit, 4 errors, and 1 run, and 3 left on base. We'll be right back on LMC TV. Back here on LMC TV, 4th inning, Blanche's first pitch grounded to the second baseman, Olivia Tobin, and that's her 4th ground ball assist, ground ball that she converted. She had 4, and then she caught a line drive as well. That's 4 assists for her. The putout goes to the first baseman, Pacone, and she has a putout. 1 pitch, 1 out, and the only person to get on base for Hastings via a rip single, who had the 3 errors last inning, but then made the nice catch to end the inning in shallow left field, the shortstop, Edwards. And she is safe! Just beat it, that's tough. We should get a replay to look at.
That was a close call.
I thought she was just out, but they gave her a safe. Might be a makeup call for the base error, but it wouldn't have been so close, but she kind of hesitated when she hit it off the plate. She might have thought it was going to be foul, but she made up some ground with her for quick strides. But if she had run right away, it wouldn't have been that close. It was a good play. I think Peccia fielded it, right, the catcher? Yeah,
so, yeah,
because it was right off the plate. So she's got 2 hits. One was a rip single up the middle, more towards second base, but up the middle in the 1st inning, and now a swinging bunt off the plate in Edwards here. Now she's getting secondary. In the 1st inning, she wasn't getting a secondary lead, but she's on with 1 out on the 4-hitter Zoe Fields, the catcher. Fields, right, working quick. Katie Blanche she struck out, one of the 5 strikeout, puts it in play. It's gonna be a tough play. The catcher running, and it's advancing the runner to second, but she's out, as it was a good play. As with the catcher running, you had a chance. It was fielded by the first baseman, Pacone, and she flipped to Blanche, who made a nice play as the ball was kind of past her. She had to reach back, but with the catcher running, if Edwards was running, who just had that hit, they wouldn't have got her. A little hesitant was Pacone. She wasn't sure if she should just run to the base herself, which she could have done if she right away, but then she tossed it to Blanche. And I mean, that run doesn't mean anything, but she's on second now. A base hit would make it 3-1. That run they desperately
need runs after that. After really being a little lucky to get out of that, to only give up 1 run that last inning where you have 4 errors and you only give up 1 run in that inning.
Yeah, Rhinebeck has stranded 3. They stranded 3, 2, and 2, 7 runners. There was some game, I think it was a major league game I was watching or something. Some teams stranded almost 20 runners. It's possible. At most you could strand 27 runners in a regular. Yeah, I mean that's never happened, but I don't think so. An extra, if there's extras, you can. Inside ball, low. Jen Caruso grounded out to Tobin, one of 4 people to do so. in the first inning. I mean, in the second inning. And hits a rip foul.
Ooh, nice catch.
Nice catch by the fan over there. As Sean Kelly got the camera out of the way, he was ducking. He wanted no part of it, our cameraman. Sean. It's all right. That's what you tell them to do, Rob. Get the camera out of the way first, and he did it. And she bounces one. First opportunity for Santoli, and it'll be dropped at first by Pacone, and we'll get our first one of the game. It was a little wide throw, and it was a tough play, but it was right in her glove. Pacone? Rob.
Back?
Pacone? First error first?
Really?
Or the throw? That's not a hit, because a good throw has her. She would have just been out, but she was out. Well, it's 3-1 as they get that big run across. Still have 3 innings after this, too, to chip away. Unearned. I mean, it dropped out of her glove.
I mean, you can't call that a hit, but just where do you score the error?
On the shortstop, she threw it a little wide, but I mean, the first baseman had it and dropped it. Probably the first baseman, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because it was in her glove. It wasn't the easiest catch, but it was catchable. As we'll have Jones Spadafino with a, and Frank doesn't understand either. Or maybe they got.
Does she have to go back to third?
We'll be right back on LMC TV. So after Jones Spadafino, I think she thought maybe there was interference going to first, or I think she also might have said that like the batter hit the glove, which would she would get first automatically, but the runner would have to stay at second. Nonetheless, the throw didn't go past the line or anything like that like before, but because she came on her own, and it's a foul ball, strike one or. There's a lot of little things going on. It's tough to keep up with the balls and strikes. 0-2, thanks, Rob. But on first after the error, we gave it to Pacone, but it goes to Santoli or Pacone. Katie Blanche gets out of it, an unearned run. There's a base hit, unearned run. May Rooney will lead off the 5th when we get there, but after 3.5, Hastings is on the board 3-1 on a hit, an error, and 1 left on. Back here on LMC TV, bottom of the 4th, pitching change. The second baseman, May Rooney, is now pitching for Hastings. Just high, ball 1. And the pitcher, Sevitano, moves from pitcher to second here in the 4th inning. Ball 2 to Olivia Tobin, who has who popped up to short and hit a base hit after the catcher dropped. The first baseman dropped a foul ball. But so she's 1 for 2. And she's made 5 plays in the field. 4 plays as she stays alive with the foul ball. And 5 total with the line drive as well. And 4 ground ball. As we have 0 errors. Wait,
1.
By Ryan?
It's a good day for the kids.
Last thing with the first run.
Oh yeah, the drop.
So we've had 1 for Ryan.
1 error on Ryan and 6.
Stop it! Stop it!
Fair ball. It gets by the right fielder. I mean, that's not another error, but she did take another bad route that she did last time. The drop down. She was going for the catch, even though she had no chance, and then there. So,
Lead-off double.
So 1 error by Rhineck has 1 error in the last inning, and the Yellow Jackets have the 6 ones. They actually last inning they had their first. Actually, this is the first inning. We'll see if they can go 1 inning without. The first inning they had an error, second inning they had an error, and 4 errors in the 3rd, including 3 by Marley Edwards.
4 errors in that inning, but yet they are still in the game.
And with that run in the 4th, they're even closer than they were. But the 3-hitter Peccia, who had the double in the first run of the game and then popped up to second, stranding 2 runs, is up. And this is a huge play here, man. Huge at bat.
Go over there. Logan, go with him over there. But out of the field. Away from the field. Go ahead.
Strike. Swung on and missed. 2-2. She always takes those chokes up when she swings. Takes practice swings. Ball. 3-2. And she rips one foul. Remember, she ripped one foul earlier. And it'll be caught by the third baseman. Nice play. She squeezes it with both her hands. Caught it like basket, Willie Mays, and then put her hand on top. And there's one away. So a pop-up in foul territory to the third baseman, Austin.
Come here, Jack.
And Pecci is now 1 for 3. Stephanie Santoli reached base on an error by Austin. And then grounded, lined out to Austin, and last inning to lead off the third. The pitch 1-0 coming, and the new pitcher Rooney. Bounces it. 2-0. A little surprised they switched pitchers because the defense, maybe, I don't know, but because it wasn't her fault. I mean, there were
It's very rare you see a
two
pitching
unearned,
change.
right, in softball, especially in a close game, especially where she gave up, like, she didn't have any walks, and it's 3-1. She's in danger of a walk here. And then, I'm a little surprised, and they 4 errors. First
There's
walk
the
of the
first walk.
game comes from the new pitcher, first and second. Santoli on base for the second time, and Katie Blanche, one of the best hitters, and the pitcher on Rhineck, who scored a run after reaching on a drop from Bluner to start the third inning, which was the 4-run. It was the first error. It was with 1 out that inning, but it was the first error of the 4th. Strike 1 is take all the way. And then base hit and a stolen base for Blanche in the first, so she's 1 for 2 with a run. A base hit,
Nice stab.
ground ball, base hit, ripped right back at the pitcher Rooney, but she makes a great defensive play, and and throws it to first. 1 ground out. Advancing to second and third was Santoli and Tobin. Jamie Straza, who had that rare double error for the sets a ball by the shortstop Marlee Edwards that she made. That's how Straza reached on the double error, and she flew out to right. 1-1 to her.
That last play by Rooney was great because that was a pretty hard hit ball right at her.
And she looked at second, but she got the short out at first, and the way they've had trouble fielding, that was smart. Just get the outs. 2 outs, second and third. Base hit up the middle, past the shortstop Edwards, and it'll be thrown home, and it's 5-1. Sliding in safely was Stephanie Santoli, and that's a big hit for Rhineck as they have a 4-run lead now, 5-1. Huge hit. And it's a base hit, 2 RBI for Jamie Straza. She hit it right back up the middle in a diving attempt by the shortstop Edwards. Could have had a chance at it if she was able to get there to throw Straza out. Instead, it was a base hit clear up the middle, and she couldn't get there, and it's 5-1. 2 RBIs on 1 swing of the bat, and the Panthers lead by 4. Huge hit there.
Yeah. Especially after
Clutch.
the Yellow Jackets got that 1 run to get back in the game.
Wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it wasn't the when Rhineck continues with at least 1 run each inning. Now they have the 2. They had 1 in the second, 1 in the first, 1 in the third. wasn't the hardest hit ball, but it was perfectly placed, and it was right up the middle, right back from where it came from, as they like to say. That one goes through the glove. Seventh error. Seventh error for. Went through the glove of the first baseman, Spinozzi.
Darren, hit that hard. Come on, girl. You got this.
7 errors now. That is
7 errors. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth. 7th errors. And if this continues, Rhinebeck is not going to have any, not going to come up in the 7th. Not going to have to, but they already have 7 errors. It's Hastings. Those runs were earned, though, because there were no errors before that. And she'll pop one. Base hit for Alan Straza.
There you go.
She just got there. It looked like she was out at second. I think she thought there was 1 out, but there were 2, so she should have been running off the crack of the bat. Instead, it looked like she was out, but I think the umpire was surprised that the throw was there.
Yeah.
And as a base hit. Because there's 2 outs, and she held up because it was a pop-up, even though it was clearly getting through, but she didn't realize there was 2 outs. And should have been running on the crack of the bat, and instead looked like she was going to get thrown out, but the umpire couldn't tell.
Close.
I thought she was out, and strike 1 to Katie. Popped up to third, and
Great time out. You got this, Katie. Time it out, girl.
the JV call up 0 for 1 with an RBI sac fly. First RBI for Rhinebeck as there's an unearned run in the first one, and she pops up another one. Got under it. They don't see it. Second baseman makes the play to end the inning. Another error at 2 errors. Actually, another error. 1 error, 1 run, 2 runs, and 3 left on. So Rhinebeck has left 10 people on base. They're up 5-1. They didn't leave so many they could be up 10-1. We'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports with the top of the 5th. Back here on LMC TV, strike 1 from Blanche after 2 big insurance runs off the base hit from Jamie Straza. And it'll be May Rooney, now the pitcher. Started second baseman, and she grounds back to the pitcher. And Blanche tosses it to Pacone, and there's a quick out, 1 away here in the top of the 5th with Hannah Leffer, the DP who grounded out to second in her first AV. Outside, ball 1. 1-0. For the DP for the right fielder, Rosin Harper Reed. Hasn't made any errors, but a couple of plays she kind of misplayed and they turned into doubles. Hastings beat the number 10 seed at home. Hastings 10-5 in the first round. Saw their Twitter posted a picture of their AD raking the field. I guess during the first round there was some rain at some of the sites, but they both got there in no time. I think the majority of games were played, only like 2 or 3 had to be made up yesterday. Right, Robbie Stats?
Some of them had a delay.
Remember, we still have the Mamaroneck boys lacrosse is alive. Girls lacrosse lost. Those are the only 2 teams. Oh, and Mamaroneck baseball. Mamaroneck baseball. Rhinebeck softball here. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Tag by Peccia as she's out. Swinging, another swinging strikeout. Number
That's 6.
6. All swinging. Which, so Mamaroneck baseball, Rhinebeck softball, and Rhinebeck there. To see all the tweets from our games and our
One more. Come on, girls.
the retweets of scores all in one place for the playoff games. Follow Rob on @LMC TV Sports if you're not following him already. He's got over 900 followers. He's following less than 100, I think 100 people almost. He's got 920 followers basically. So he's craving for 1,000. I told him he'll get it in the fall. It pops up the bunt. Peccia, nice play, a basket catch. Trying to bunt for a hit with 2 outs. Courtney Bloomer and Carissa Peccia makes it, and it's time-wise, I think, and pitch count-wise, I think that was less than 8 pitches for that inning. Another 1, 2, 3, her third of the day for Blanche. And second, third, and fifth innings now, and we'll head to the fifth. Rhinebeck in control at 5-1 here on LMC TV. Back here on LMC TV with Raheel Jaswal. I'm Charlie McGraw. Strike 1 to Evelyn Pacone. Leadoff, top of the order, lefty. Ball. Oh for 3. Got up in the first 3 innings, popped up to the catcher, struck out swinging, and popped up to short, the lefty. Pacone. And bloops a single out of the outstretched hands of Marley Edwards, a base hit, so she's 1 for 4 now.
First hit of the day.
Winner of this will play the winner of number 3 Putnam Valley and number 11 Pauling. So if Rhinebeck can get 6 more outs, that'll be them on
Attempted bunt.
Monday? Wednesday. It would be at Rhinebeck if Rhinebeck holds on. So Pauling upset the 6th seed there because they're the 11. Always hated traveling up to Pauling. I think I played there twice in soccer. That's a wild pitch. Twice in soccer and once in baseball. A lot of woods. Wild pitch as it bounced in front of the plate and went past. They faked the bunt too. Tobin. Now she has a runner on second.
Just
See
like
what
that,
she's doing.
RBI opportunity. Another goes to bunt. You say fair.
Just fair. Catcher throws to the first baseman and a sack.
Good sack bunt there.
2-3. That was just fair. But Pacone moves up to third as Coach Spadafino playing for a 6th run to get a 5-run lead. Sack 2-3 as the catcher threw it to the first baseman Spinazzi and Carissa Peccia. 1 for 3 with a run scored. So that doesn't count as an at-bat. So if Tobin doesn't get up again, she'll finish 2 for 4 with a run scored, a double, a single, and pop up and a sack. Carissa Peccia, 1 for 3, double, run, pop up to second, pop up to short, to third, excuse me, in the first, second, and fourth innings. The 3-hitter and rips a single past the second baseman, and she'll have a single long turn from Peccia. RBI single, and it is 6-1. She played for that run. Although she would have scored on that base hit, she would have scored if she was still on second. She wasn't bunted over, but Coach Spadafino was playing for another run, and it's 6-1. Peccia with a huge lead.
Ooh, nearly got picked off.
Nothing. Last 2 times we saw them play, she ran out. The team, she ran them out of innings. She was bases loaded. Santoli up 2-0. So Peccia is now 2 for 4 with a run, an RBI single, and a double. Smart as she didn't stretch her base hit into a double. Took a long turn, but she stayed there. 1 out, just the sack bunt.
And a walk on 4 pitches.
So we saw no walks in 3 innings from Alex Civiano. Now May Rooney has 2 walks in 2 innings. No, in an inning and a third. That was the first on 4 pitches, the other one. Blanche still with no walks. No hit batsman in this one. Katie Blanche is like 6'1", 6 foot. Got a big strike zone, because that was a strike one. First and second. Blanche up, rips a shot to the outfield, going, and it's to the base of the wall. Blanche will. It stayed in. Coach Spadafino thought it was a homer, but it stayed in. It hit the base of the wall.
Almost
Coach
gone.
Spadafino thought it was a homer, but it was just a double off the wall. She told on the trotting, but it was on the base of the wall, and it's a 2 RBI double. So I'll have to ask Coach Spadafino about that. I know she won't want me to ask her about that on the air, but before the questions, I have to see if I can give her an eye exam after the game. With that clearly hit the fence and stayed in. Who was that? The second player to score was Santoli. She gave her a high five like it was a home run.
Yeah.
No, Peccia. Wait, no, Santoli.
Santoli was the one.
Yeah. Santoli, because she thought it was a home run. It was an RBI double.
Both the base runners
Blanche.
thought it was a homer because they were both trotting to home.
And Straza with the ground ball. So it's a 2 RBI double for Blanche, and she's 2 for 4. The run scored, a stolen base, 2 RBIs, and a double and a single. Continues her good hitting for the 8th grade pitcher. Sheena Viola is reached base all 3 times on 2 errors, 2 of the 7 Hastings errors. And Raheel, if you believe it or not, no errors in this inning.
Wow.
Still don't know why they took out the pitcher. She was doing good. She was getting no support, Civitano, and then Rooney now has given up a couple more earned runs. Civitano. She only gave up 1 earned run, 3 runs, 1 earned, and then giving up 5 runs now, all earned. Actually, I think 1 might have been on there. Drop third strike. Blanche is safe at home. It's not an error. That's a strikeout and a drop third strike.
You got this, girl. Go, Kara, you got this. You're a hitter.
9-1 now, Rhineck. Kara Allen with
There's another one.
another error. There it is. Jinxed it. Error number 8. 4 on the shortstop himself.
Went straight through her legs.
Yeah, she hit it hard, but it went right through. Spoke too soon about no errors.
Yeah.
In the inning. So was that now 7 or 8?
That's 8.
8 errors. 7, right. And that's a base hit.
In the gap.
And that'll go all the way just short of the wall. Kara Allen will be holed up, and she'll fall at second, and she'll be out. So that'll be a double, and
Unfortunate, she just fell.
left fielder threw it to the shortstop. Littman fell. We'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports 10-1. Back here on LMC TV, 5 more runs for Blanche. Not like she needs them, but 10-1, and swung on and missed by the leadoff hitter. Now the second baseman, Alex Civitano, who's looking to avoid the hat trick. She struck out. So they just left the 1 on base, Rhineck, but they still left 11 on base.
Oh, did I hit someone?
Not my car. That's right.
Off the bounce, the car got a little hit there. Rhineck had 4 hits last inning.
There's the hat trick.
Civitano and the tag.
3rd strikeout of the day for her.
Good job by Peccia. Drop third strike. The umpire acknowledged Peccia's tag. Second time she's done that today. Just the one run on the error, unearned. So won't be a shutout per se, but no earned runs.
And that's her 7th strikeout of the day.
All swinging.
Yeah.
That's rare. Looking for this, her second back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. In the second and the third, Blanche got it, and then in the fourth, she got one. And during those, she had one in the second, one in the third strikeout. One last inning. So it's a base hit up the middle. And the first hit for Hastings for somebody not named Marlee Edwards, who's up now, who's made 4 errors now. But the first hit that was Kayla Austin. Marlee Edwards, who's up now, is perfect. 2 for 2. Scored the only run. Has the 4 errors in the field, and advanced to second on a pass ball in the first inning. Strike 1. Edwards had the one off the plate where she just beat it out, and then she was scored on that ball thrown away. Bounces one foul, 0-2. That was off of Peccia. She got right up back and fired it back to Blanche, though, so she's all right. She's very tough. Be a catcher.
There's another swinging strike.
So first time they got Marlee Edwards out on what have been ball 2. It would have been a 2-2 count.
8th strikeout of the day.
All swinging again, looking to strike out the side for the first time. 4-hitter, Zoe Fields, strikeout swinging, grounded out to the pitcher. So we're about 25-30 minutes cumulative for the time that Hastings has been up. And the time that Rhinebeck has been up, it's taken about an hour or more. Well, when it's 10-1, you expect that, but just the way. And they had a couple the plays where they had to discuss with the umpires. That one's a ball, 1-0. And that one will be hit to the outfield. Shayla Viola calls it loudly. Twice, it was right at her. I don't know who else would have caught it, but she called it loudly as you're supposed to. And it's 10-1, and a one hit, one left on base, just the 3rd hit of the game for Hastings. And we'll be right back on LMC TV, bottom of the 6th, 10-1 Panthers. Back here on LMC TV, and for the back-to-back innings, the leadoff hitter, Evelyn Pacone. Third time today she leads off an inning, and this time it's a ball, 1-0.
The only inning she has not batted in, it looks like, is the 4th inning.
That's correct, Rahil. Right, she's 1 for 4 with a pop-up. She's actually the only strikeout victim of the day. That's weird. Yeah, she's had a weird line. Popped up to the catcher in the first, second. Only strikeout victim of the day swinging. From Rhinebeck. Of course, Blanche has, 8 now?
8, yeah.
And popped up to short. And then in the 5th, she started the 5-run brigade with
and there's another walk.
3 walks for Rooney. Again, not sure what the pitching change was for, but no walks for the previous pitcher, Civitano, and then Rooney. Civitano gave up 3 runs, only 1 earned, and I think Rooney's given up 4 or 5 earned and 2 additional and 7 total. They were in the game. They weren't going to probably get another run off of
Blanche.
They didn't have any earned runs off her, but don't know why they switched up. Zoe Fields tried to pick off Pacome, but she was safe at first. Mercy rolls 15, so if Rhinebeck puts up a 6 spot, although if they put up a 6 spot, the game will be longer than if they make a couple quick outs and then get 3 quick outs in the 7th. But there's 2 walks in a row there.
That back-to-back walk, it's a fourth.
Yeah, they switched it to 15. Is that because of the playoffs or no?
It's been 15.
Oh, it's been 15. Thanks. Playoffs.
10 for baseball.
Come on, first.
Now first and second with nobody out.
If this was baseball, all they need is 1 run. Mercy. Pachia, 2 for 4 with an RBI, a single, a double, 2 runs scored. She scored one of 5 Panthers to score last inning. 0-2 to Pachia. Ball 1 and 2 to the catcher, freshman. Oh, right in the back.
That's gonna hurt.
That'll leave a mark. She turned around and Frank calls time for her at first as Joan comes over and checks on her.
That is the first hit batter of today's game.
3 walks for Bruni, and she's only gone 2 innings. And
It's 3 straight walks now.
a hit by, technically it's not a walk. It was a 1-2 count too, so she lost it. Luckily it wasn't that fast, but it hit her square in the back and she turned. Good thing she turned though, that could have hit her, where, like in the face or
Yeah.
chest or the arm? But she turned because she saw it and she had enough time because it was slow pitch. And they'll stay put. Frank yelling. They're staying anyway.
Come on, Steph, you got this.
Gotta ask Frank after the game what kind of coffee he had. Oh, by the way, gotta mention that Rob had put earlier, the first game I announced, I said that their other assistant was their son Robbie, their older son, but it was actually their son Angelo who was the assistant. And he's here for this game, but he had, in the middle of the year, he stopped coaching because he hurt himself playing rec football or soccer, rec baseball, hurt his leg, rec softball. And then he was the former soccer goalie. He was good at low strike. 2-2. Umpire wants to go home. So with a 10-1, yeah. So the swung on foul back. Strike 3. Catcher held on. Second strikeout of the day for Hastings pitcher. First for Rooney. So, but it was actually Angelo Spadafino, not Robbie, who I mentioned in the first game, who's their assistant. He's on the bench coaching now. He had a knee, his leg and a boot, and I wonder if it was fast pitch or slow pitch softball. It could have been one of the first devastating slow pitch softball injuries. He was a great soccer goalie, though.
Baseball too.
Yeah, I know, he was good. As a soccer, yeah. What was center field? Right? He played center? Yeah. When he was on, what was that coach? Oh, Slater? Yeah. Who was coached like 09 to 16, I think. And our good friend Carlucci went to KO. Swung on and missed. She wanted to hit a grand slam off of a golf tee. That ball bounced. She let the other bad pitches go, and then she kind of 2-2.
She nearly had a home run last time.
Yeah. Yeah, off the wall. That was the one that Coach Spadafino thought was a home run. She'll hold them up. 11-1.
good. Heads up over there, 2-7.
So Evelyn Pacone scores. Olivia Tobin to third. We'll have a conference here. Mark that on the board. One mound visit. They've used a couple, actually. Of course, that rule is different, so Petchy is second. I think they held her up. They don't want to run up the score. So an RBI single for Blanche. She has 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a stolen base, a hit, 3, 4, 5. Reached on an error, so she reached 4 times. Jamie Straza up. She re-entered after a pinch runner couldn't score for her. Maya Julian, JV call up. Julian call up. Lippman, 2 JV call-ups playing low strike, 1-1. 11-1. That one is hit by Straza out of play. Foul drops. Well, talk about family ties here with the Spadafinos. One of the biggest names in MLB history. His grandson getting called up today. Just saw on Twitter. Mike Yastrzemski, Carl's grandson. Not by the Red Sox. You would think the Red Sox would have done everything in their power to draft him. I think they drafted him. He went to college, and then the Giants drafted him later. I think, Rob. Yeah. It's like the second time. I think he was drafted like 45th round. He didn't sign with the Red Sox. Went to college, and came back in a higher round. But the San Francisco Giants called him up, so he'll be in baseball. Amazing all the lineage. Off the base! That's a base hit. Is that hit off the base? Straza, you don't get that every day. This game's had everything. So an RBI single for Jamie Straza. It was about to be fielded by the third baseman, Austin, but hit the base, so that's a base hit. And Blanche to second, Petchy to third. Yeah, on that Blanche hit earlier, the one that hit the fence on a fly. And Coach Spadafino thought it was a homer. That's a hit. Everyone moves up a base. So Shayna Viola.
3 straight.
She scored in the last inning on a rare drop third strike. One out. The only out was Santoli. And 3 more runs and this will be a mercy rule. Viola with the RBI, Straza with the RBI, Blanche to third, Petchia scores, and Coach is looking for a pitcher. Rob, you want to go in? So we'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Thought they were going to make a pitching change, Hastings, but instead they stick with it with the mercy rule. Run on first now with 1 out. A pinch hitter here. Kara Allen is replaced by Olivia Allison. Pinch hitting. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Wait for your pitch.
She replaces Kara Allen, the senior Olivia Allison. Bases loaded. Viola on first. And Allison is retired. And Katie Blanche on third, and Straza on second, and 2 away. First strikeout looking at the entire game. And I'll bring up the DP, also the DH, who had a double. An RBI double. RBI sac fly. She's 1 for 3. Sac fly doesn't count as an at-bat. Foul. Another long half inning from Rhineck. Fouled off. My pen's almost running out of ink. I've had to write so much on Reinek's half. That's why you bring backups. That backup pens. And swung on and missed. Drop third strike. She just has to step on the thing and she beats Blanche there on the plate. So 2 strikeouts in a row. And the inning is over 13-1. We'll be right back on LMC Varsity Sports. Head to the 7th and final inning. Last chance. Let's see if Hastings has an extreme rally in them. Back here on LMC Varsity Sports, foul off. 7th inning, 13-1. Reinek, 15 is the mercy rule, so this game won't be a mercy rule as Hastings is up. Jen Caruso. Reinek just won their first round game 5-1, but this one they're up 13-1. And the run was unearned. So Blanche with the 8 strikeouts, right? And grounds it to third. Kara Allen, safe.
Nice throw.
Just beats it out. Just beat it out.
Oh, safe.
But she was safe, yeah. Just. It was closer than the other ones, but just safe. Tough play. It's a 12-run lead for Jen Caruso on first. So no outs, man. Runner on first. Base hit. That's just the 4th base hit. All base hits. Nothing more than singles off the bats of the Yellow Jackets. Haven't had any stinging hits as Hastings. Get it, Rob? Right here?
Yep.
The mascots. I wonder if, like, their fields or something, they have, like, a lot of the Yellow Jackets, like, is that how they got the nickname, you know?
Hastings.
I know.
That's why they did.
That makes sense.
Strikeout number 9.
One more, double digits.
All of them are swinging.
She scattered them, though, right?
Yeah.
Reinek scored 13 runs, but they left 14 men on base. And there's 2 away. Moving up to second was Caruso. So May Rooney with the ground out. Second time she grounded right back up to Blanche. Pitched. Second pitcher. She gave up 10 total runs. I think 6, 7, or 8 were earned. So Hastings will finish with 8 errors in 6 innings.
Looks like it.
One short of a. But it wasn't by. There were a couple committed by multiple, by the same person. 4 by the shortstop Edwards, who played well, who had 2 of the 4 hits, and the only run. So it's an 0-2 count to.
That is the first strike that is looking.
First strikeout looking, and that was a pitch.
And that is number 10.
Pinch hitter. It's Roisin Harper Reed. It was weird. Roisin Harper Reed was a designated fielder, but she came up, she pinch hit. I guess that's, yeah.
Sub them as much as you want.
Yeah, that's allowed. So the final score was 13-1. So we'll be right back with the post-game and analysis here on LMC TV. Back here with Katie Blanche. And Katie, you're able to scatter 4 hits today. You only gave up 1 unearned run. What was the key to that?
Well, so I was hitting a lot of my spots, and Carissa caught a great game behind the plate, and then also Mr. Sped calling the pitches.
And in addition to Carissa, your defense played great behind you. Especially the infield played very well, making all the plays. The outfield as well. Tell me about that.
Well, we all work hard during the week, and yeah, it's just the hard work that's got us here in Miss Sped, obviously. Yeah.
And then every game we come to, we've seen you pitch, but you always get at least 2 or 3 hits. Is it easier for you to hit when you're pitching, or is just your just the hitting just comes natural to you as well?
Well, I'd like to say I'm a good hitter, and also I know like the strike zone from pitching, and the umpire is calling like the same on me. So.
And lastly, your control was excellent. No walks. What was the key to having your control with you and Carissa? You guys, there were no walks that you gave up.
Just once again, hard work during the week, and yeah.
Back here with Coach Joan Spadafino. And Coach, it was a good win for you guys. You got 1 run in the first 2 innings and then a couple more as the game went on. What was the key after the first time in the order? You guys really, the batters got better and better.
I think we were battling, that's what we've been stressing all year, battle. And we left a lot on too. I'm not complaining or anything, but it's doubly important when you have a runner on base to get them in.
And you were able, the first game you won 5-1 and now 13-1. Just by putting the ball in play too, they made a couple errors and you forced them to make the plays. That's key. You only had 3 strikeouts and 2 were in the last inning for the whole game. That's pretty impressive.
Well, exactly. We hit twice a practice, so I think just that consistency, seeing the ball and staying in the game. And listen, Hastings played a great game. I know they made some errors, but they were in it in the beginning, and I'm very proud of their coach and their players.
And your defense was very good too, behind Katie Blanche as she pitched another great game. It seems that your defense has improved throughout the season. What do you contribute that to?
Repetition, practicing hard. We had a 2-hour practice yesterday. Frank keeps saying his defense wins the game, and it does. And Katie knows it. She's got a great catcher in Carissa and a great defense behind her. So, they all work extremely hard. I'm very proud of them.
And lastly, you have a game. You have a more than a normal amount of rest between the 2 playoff games because you're not playing again until Wednesday.
Right.
I guess because of Memorial Day. So that could help you or it could hurt you. But what do you think of
you know what?
rest?
Everyone is everyone's in the same boat. So, and we're playing at home, which is always an advantage. We'll give them off tomorrow, and we'll practice Monday and Tuesday. We don't have school Tuesday, so again they're resting, which is great too. I know a lot of schools have school, so we'll take it one day at a time.
Back here on the post-game show, final score was 13-1 Rhinebeck over Hastings in this Class B quarterfinal. Number 2 Rhinebeck, number 7 Hastings and Raheel. It was a good win for Rhinebeck, and it was close early, but the errors undone Hastings, and then a lot of hits for Rhinebeck as well, and they showed some good offense out there.
Yeah, definitely, but Hastings, 8 errors in 1 game is not the recipe to win a playoff game. And also Katie Blanche with the 10 strikeouts, and the Rhinebeck defense was solid throughout. And I believe in the 5th and 6th inning, they batted through the whole lineup twice in a row. So that's, got some big hits and some big runs.
Yeah, they did. The leadoff through the 9-hitter all came up in those innings. And also they also stranded about 12 or 13 runners, and they still scored 13 runs, 13-1, so that's pretty impressive. So, and they took advantage of those 8 Hastings errors. A lot of people to thank: the executive director, Matt Sullivan, the assistant director is Dina Schumacher, community sports producer is Mr. Rob Moretti, our camera crew, Sean Kelly, Xavier, the X-Man Campo, and Rob Moretti. Once again for Raheel Jaswal, I'm Troy McGraw, saying thanks so much for watching, and have a great evening.
If you are interested in sponsoring this or other programs on LMC TV, contact us for more information.